All right, good afternoon here on KM Activities, your home for the KoMets, as we welcome you inside Home Federal Arena as the Kasson-Mantorville KoMets are going up against the Lourdes Eagles here on KM Activities Channel 2. Everything is working just properly, so that's good. I'm Joel McCall. Alongside me is Todd Halverson to provide camera for tonight's contest. It is, or today's, I guess, this afternoon. Today we do have Parents' Day, so they'll be celebrating all of them. We're a little early, jumping the gun. This never happens. Certainly can't happen at night when we're supposed to be at 7:15, and we always tip at like 7:35. But today, on a Saturday, we're doing well. The boys, JV, did get a win today. That was by 4 points. So KoMets get the win over the Lourdes Eagles in JV action. And the Lourdes Eagles come in right after a win last night. They played against PEM. They're sitting at 2-11, but they're 0-11 in the Hiawatha Valley. Their head coach is Eric Larson for the Kasson-Mantorville KoMets. 5-9 overall, 3-8 in the conference. Head coach is Nick Pocius for the Lourdes Eagles, snapping an 11-game losing streak that came crashing down with a 59-49 win over a 12-3 and Three Rivers Conference West Division winner, PEM. Peyton Dunham put up a game-high 15 points and 12 rebounds. And also, I was just making sure that Brock was running through everything that I was thinking of. So he is, so that's good. Lotto Lowalla added 12 points and 13 rebounds, while Luke Bigler had 10 points, Aiden James 9. It was a welcome sight for the Lourdes Eagles as close games haven't fallen in the road team's favor. PEM and Lourdes were tied at 28 at halftime, and the Eagles didn't help themselves, going 10 of 19 from the charity stripe. Unfortunately, with a quick turnaround for the teams and this broadcaster, because I was here last night covering the girls, I didn't get a chance to email Coach Larson. He also said he has a 3-month-old at home, so he probably wouldn't have got back to me anyway. Totally understandable. Luckily, the Post Bulletin had a lot of info that I could access for sure. This Lourdes Eagles squad is led by senior forward Peyton Dunham. He tops the box score night in and night out in the last 3 games. Peyton is averaging 16 points a game, and I hear he missed some time early in the season. The 6'5 forward did play against the KoMets, putting up 9 points. If Peyton gets going early, the rest of the Eagles team needs to follow. Both teams enter off wins, so this should be a great matchup. My question for the Eagles is, can they get off to a good start, a great start really, because I think that can trickle down and everybody will start filling in that box score for them. And for the Kasson-Mantorville KoMet boys, well, they were in great shape Thursday night at halftime with Chicago Lakes area. The KoMets were up 27-24 and had some quality performances throughout the lineup. The Wildcats stepped on the gas early in the second half and had a double-digit lead. There was a slight turning point around the 10-minute mark when Kasson-Mantorville's Cam Holacek and Jace Bigelow fired back. Bigelow had a steal and assist to Seuss, and followed by a defensive rebound and an outlet pass to Holacek on back-to-back plays, plus a layup of his own for Jace. Holacek nailed a big three, a three-point play, and kept driving. The final 5 minutes was some of the best boys basketball I've covered. Chicago Lakes dug in on a full-court press. Cam got a layup out of it from Hallstrom after the ball was tipped like 3 times, too, in that same possession, so it could have easily went right back down to Chicago Lakes. The KoMets had a lead of down to 2, and then Holacek hit 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Chicago Lakes had one last chance to force overtime, but they couldn't connect on 2 3-pointers. KoMets won 62-59. It was a great night all the way around for the KM boys, and something they really needed, a quality win over a 3A opponent. Today, they do come in without, actually it looks like Hallstrom's going to get the nod for the start. The Jordan Claypool out today. Everyone had a hand in that win Thursday night, and same holds true tonight. This squad can't be Jace Bigelow and a few stragglers. The momentum of the season seems to be swaying in the right direction, and today's another big game despite the team's records. KoMets were well-rounded versus Lourdes the first matchup. Jace 25, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Flom had 12 points, 11 boards. Holacek 11 points, 5 rebounds. Holacek's averaging right around that 7-point mark. He's out today. So you have Hallstrom stepping into the starting lineup, so he's got to add a little bit, as well as Jack Kramers, who's probably going to get a few more minutes off the bench. We'll see how deep Coach Pocious goes. But if they can duplicate that nice, well-rounded recipe, they can take out the Eagles. National anthem. Maybe. Kasson-Mantorville KoMets and the Lourdes Eagles. 5-9 KoMets, 2-11 Eagles. As Jace Bigelow leading the way at 18 points per game. For the Eagles, they're going to be led by Peyton Dunham. And the starters for the Eagles, as I was able to talk to Larson just for a few minutes. Senior 6-foot guard, number 1, Robbie Haight. Junior 5'11" guard, number 2, Luke Bigler. A sophomore 6'2" guard, Aiden James, number 23. Senior 6'7" center, number 30. I have him as Lotto Lowalla. And then senior 6'5" forward, number 33, Peyton Dunham. Lowalla I have as a center. Block mentioned him as a guard. I don't know, 6'7" guard? That seems, I guess he's Magic Johnson. For the keys tonight for Coach Larson, sprint back on defense, be patient, and easy passes. Kyler Kuyat, here's the starters for the Kasson-Mantorville KoMets. Senior 6-foot guard, 0, Kyler Kuyat. Jace Bigelow, senior 6'4" guard forward, he'll wear number 2. Junior 6'3" guard, number 22, Cam Holacek. Junior 6'6" center, number 23, Mason Flom. And Jake Hallstrom, number 25, sophomore 6'2" guard. Coach Pocious, Kasson-Mantorville KoMets going to have to rebound well. You have to have that defensive intensity that they've talked about, which really helped them lead the way against Chicago Lakes. And I think they need some balanced scoring off the bench. That'd be the other key. As the Kasson-Mantorville KoMets in the home blues, white lettering for road whites for Lourdes with a little bit of purple on their lettering. We'll see who's jumping. I'm sure it's Flom. We get going 10 minutes prior to what was scheduled. So everybody needs to get out and enjoy the weather, I guess. Maybe that's why we're going early. In the jump circle will be Lowalla and Flom. Jump comes, and it's actually grabbed by Holacek, and Kasson-Mantorville will take on the Eagle side of the basketball court. From right to left, Flom over on the far side, off to Hallstrom. Passes on the baseline, tipped out of bounds. Nice play there by Bigler for Lourdes. Kasson-Mantorville will retain possession, and inbounding is Kuyat. These teams did meet earlier in the season with Kasson-Mantorville getting the win. They played back on February 12th, 69-58. Kasson-Mantorville won that game. Ball rotates from near to far. Holacek on the wing. Over to Kuyat. Baseline pass to Bigelow. Takes a screen from Kuyat. Trying to drive all the way in. Kick to the corner to Holacek. He'll go all the way to the rim. Short-armed it. Hallstrom with the rebound and then got a little antsy with the basketball. Passes it to Lourdes bench. I mean, they were open, but they were actually out of bounds, too. Lourdes will take with Dunham, bringing the cross timeline. Jace Bigelow guarding. That should be a great matchup all throughout the game. Dunham underneath to Lawala, stripped as Kuyat strips him. Bigelow off to Holacek and through the fingertips and back-to-back turnovers on Kasson-Mantorville to start the basketball game. Kasson-Mantorville looking like they might go with a little bit of a full-court press. Dunham throws it off. Janes ran to touch it. It's right back in the hands of Dunham to run point. And his pass almost tipped by Holacek. Regained possession by Haight. On the near side, Bigelow. Corner, Dunham. Thought about a three. Dribbles 3 times. Gets into the paint. Too strong. Rebound for Jace Bigelow. Kasson-Mantorville brings it down with Holacek over in the far corner. Kuyat, who hit a couple of three-pointers last game as well. Flom to Kuyat. Hesitation. Kick to the corner to Hallstrom. Back to Flom. Kasson-Mantorville setting in, trying to figure out how to attack. Hallstrom, deep three-pointer, wing three is good for Jake Hallstrom. There's a relief. Without Claypool, a couple guys going to have to step up, and Hallstrom does. Outlet pass comes from Dunham off the fingertips of Bigler into the Kasson-Mantorville bench area, and a turnover. 3-0, Kasson-Mantorville leading, 16-25 first half. Kuyat runs point. Last night for the girls, they had a few possessions where no Schuber or Bigelow on the court. It was like nobody running point, but Kasson-Mantorville, their boys setting things up with Flom underneath. Oh, beautiful pass to Bigelow, and he can't finish at the rim. Lawala did a good job disrupting. Dunham going down on a 1-on-4. His shot will roll off on the near side. Kasson-Mantorville cleans it up. They still lead 3-0 after 2 minutes of play. Hallstrom has that three-pointer, and he kicks it off to Holacek. Back off to Hallstrom. Left-handed dribble. Fires right to Kuyat. He'll miss the three-pointer. Couldn't line it up correctly. Rebound Dunham's for Lourdes. Janes one dribble and passes off. Haight resets quarter-court. Dunham on the wing. Not really a three-point shooter. He's going to try and get everything inside. Lawala down on the low block. That's where he's going to try to make some hay. Flom blocked it the first time. Lawala up good and a foul the second one. First one was blocked by Bigelow. In the paint, you got Bigelow coming over to help Flom to try and make sure that they don't get anything easy. As some other parents and fans coming into the gym. Lawala true on the and one. Ties the game at 3. 15-15, clock moves. First half. Kuyat throwing it to Holacek, who wasn't looking for it. Luckily, Flom was backing him up. Off to Flom on the far side. One dribble, picked it up. Kuyat corner, takes the three. Missed the first, splashes home the second. Kasson-Mantorville, 2 of 3 from deep, 6-3. They lead. The Lourdes Eagles, they got a big win last night over that 12-win PEM squad. Kick pass to the low block. Lawala trying to do work on Flom. Flom does a good job. He jumped the first time but stayed straight up. The shot no good. Bigelow for the rebound for KM. Kuyat off to Hallstrom. Hallstrom drives all the way in. Really tough shot. And he floated up and over Janes. Janes had good defense on Hallstrom as well. 8-3. Kasson-Mantorville up. Dunham inside. Holacek picks his pocket. 1-on-1. Euro step. Trying to get it off. Does! And it's good with the foul called on Bigler. Holacek was like a clown going in, juggling that basketball. And he still found it. Gathered himself. Threw it up there as Bigler hit him on the arm. Clock stops at 14-13 with 1 to come for Holacek, who hit a couple of clutch free throws. against Chicago Lake. Short arm that with Bigler, all the way up on the setting up for Lourdes. Dunham bullying Jace Bigelow down low and puts it home, 10-5. Holacek over on the far side. Hallstrom passes the Kuyat. Holacek, deep three-pointer, got it. So Cam Holacek averaging 12 points a game. That's been going up. Dunham in the corner. Don't want to pick up his dribble there. He had nowhere to go. Fed right to Holacek. Steal for Kasson-Mantorville, up 13-5. Kuyat bounce pass. It's stolen. That's Haight for Lourdes. 2-on-2. Just decides to take it all the way. Layup, and he shielded his body away from Bigelow. And Jace is going to get called for the foul. That's a really nice job by Robbie Haight, the senior guard. Did a really good job making sure that Bigelow had no chance to touch him. That's the second foul on Jace Bigelow. Coach Posha's going to keep him out. Lawala out. And in comes, of course, Oliver Adamson, who I put all the way at the bottom of my score sheet. Lourdes had enough guys. They filled up my box score and won. The free throw no good for Robbie Haight. Leaves it at 13-7. Kasson-Mantorville leading. And they have the basketball back. Kramers has subbed in, as did Easton Seuss. Bigelow with the hop step to the corner. Nowhere to go. Off to Seuss. Back to Bigelow. Drives inside. Oh, soft touch. Got his own rebound. Blocked the first time. Tries it again. No, he flipped it off to Seuss. Off to Hallstrom. Back to Bigelow. And everybody will reset. Good idea. Seuss over to Hallstrom. Oh, nowhere to go. Lars. Oh, what do they call? They got Adamson with a foul. Devin Cruz also subbing in for Lourdes. He'll play for Bigler. 13-7. Kasson-Mantorville up. They have the ball. Trigger man is Kramers on the baseline. Bigelow in the corner. Wants to drive the baseline, but there is no room there. They shut that down, this Lourdes. Holacek, corner three. First one rolled in and out. Seuss was, I thought Seuss was out of bounds on the offensive rebound, but he was not. He's actually fouled. I thought they were going to call Seuss with his heel on the line. Instead, it's Dunham with the foul. Kasson-Mantorville, long possession, trying to get some points out of it. Kramers backs up off to Bigelow. Seuss out wide. That's not really his shot. Kramers holds in the corner. Bounce pass to the short corner to Seuss. Holacek looks to drive. Kramers on the kick. Driving right back in. And Hallstrom takes a three-pointer short. And good box out underneath. But Kramers fights through with the steal. Bounce pass underneath. Hallstrom. Oh, too strong. And Jace Bigelow cannot be reaching in. Took his arms away just in time. Wild pass. Hallstrom ends up with it on the floor. And Coach Poshus calls a quick timeout. So Kasson-Mantorville fights for that loose ball. They have the possession back. After a bad pass on the sideline, full timeout by Kasson-Mantorville. We'll take it as well. We haven't thanked our great sponsors yet here on KM Activities.
This sports broadcast on the KM Activities YouTube channel is sponsored in part by McKern Financial Group. Tax season is upon us, and McKern Financial can assist you with professional and personalized services and guidance. Visit McKernFinancial.com to set up an appointment today. HockeyFinder.com, where social hockey is made easy. HockeyFinder.com offers leagues, a free platform for pickup games, and is inclusive for all levels. Log on to HockeyFinder.com for more details. Home Federal Savings Bank, who are committed to providing great service and competitive products to individuals and businesses. Find all of Home Federal Savings Bank's options at justcallhome.com. And by KM Telecom, Bigelow Homes, and the Kasson-Mantorville School District.
13-7, Kasson-Mantorville leading the Lourdes Eagles in this Hiawatha Valley matchup. Both teams towards the bottom of the standings, but Kasson-Mantorville and Lourdes come in off wins. Kasson-Mantorville, in fact, has a couple in a row. Lourdes snapped an 11-game win streak. Kramer's passes off to Seuss. Seuss out of bounds. And baseline right in front of Coach Larson for Lourdes, and a turnover for KM after the timeout, where they had scrambled to get a loose ball. Haight had come back in for Lourdes, and he runs point. Down by 6. 11-game winning streak broken last night. Three-pointer, top the key, swish through for Aiden James. Kasson-Mantorville losing Jordan Claypool in their last game against Chicago Lake, so one key starter out for Kasson-Mantorville. 13-10 after the three-pointer by Lourdes. Kasson-Mantorville still up by 3. Rotates from far to near. Kramer's baseline dribble, but he's got nowhere to go again. High post for Hallstrom. Jace Bigelow with a three-pointer. My notes say that he's not hitting too many of those three-pointers. He's at 14% on the year. Cash is in at the top of the key, makes it 16-10. Kasson-Mantorville up. Double their lead just like that. A little hesitation dribble. James trying to get away from Hallstrom. Picked up his dribble, had to get it off. And Cruz takes a screen to his left. Dribbles. Cutting was inside was Adamson, but they missed him. Dunham takes. He's out three-point line. Adamson down low. Turnaround shot. No good. Stayed with it to try and get the rebound, but it comes too long and into the hands of Hallstrom for Kasson-Mantorville. Look to add to their 6-point lead. Screen over the far side for Kramers. Dribbles with his left. Past the free throw line, but no shot. Reset with Holacek, top the key. Crossover dribble to Kramers over in the far corner. Seuss cuts inside. Oh, and over Adamson, but it rolled off. Both sides of the rim. Lourdes picks up the rebound and goes with James. James backs to the half-court line. Hallstrom's not guarding him too tight. Screen was coming. Instead, he picks up his dribble. Had to pass it off. Adamson. Haight, top the key. Three-pointer. Got it. 5 points for Robbie Haight. Puts it back at a 3-point lead for Kasson-Mantorville, 16-13. Nice shot by the Lourdes Eagle. Kasson-Mantorville setting back in with Bigelow down low. Spins into a double team. Had to pass it off. Holacek just managing to get it. Whew, that was close. Almost a steal. Holacek to Bigelow in the corner. This time Bigelow rushing all the way through. Double pump. Got it. 18-13, 9 minutes to go first half. Kasson-Mantorville up by 5. Lourdes last night, impressive performance with 59 points. That's more than they average. Dribbling in and attacking is a Lourdes Eagle Janes. He's fouled. Called on Hallstrom, his first. Couple of substitutions. A lot of guys coming in. Lawala back in for Lourdes. Actually, he was the only sub for the Eagles. Flom and Kuyat come back in for Kasson-Mantorville. Bigelow going to get a blow with those 2 fouls. That's probably smart. Forcing it inside. Dunham ends up finding it. And Flom might have been straight up, but I think he bumped him first before coming straight up. It's actually a good call. Dunham at the free throw line for a pair. Clock stops 8:53 first half. 18-13. Kasson-Mantorville up, but it's Dunham at the free throw line for Lourdes to try and cut into it. Whew. Hits the rim 3 times and then drops. I guess the rim didn't realize that it's a Lourdes Eagle shooting that. Normally they don't get any of those home cooking bounces, but that time he did. Second one off the right hand and through for Dunham. Team's high scorer on average. Last 3 games putting up 16 points. Hallstrom breaking press for Kasson-Mantorville. Off the Kuyat. Quarter court. Waiting for help. Kramers and Kuyat playing the passing game. Holacek corner. 3 ball. Too long. Over on the far side. Grabbed by Rainier, who just checked in. Janes on the attack. Oh, stepped out of bounds. Good job by Kuyat, too, to make sure that there was really nowhere to go. Got all the way to the paint, but Janes had nowhere to go after that. Kasson-Mantorville's going to, if there's a zone coming, and it's a 1-2-2 press currently for Lourdes. Hallstrom, high pass to Holacek, past the half-court line. And a bad pass, tipped in. Rainier going down, and the layup is good. Rainier, little bench points for Lourdes, 18-17. If you're going to sit in this full-court press, Kasson-Mantorville needs to get it across half-court, which they have, but then they have to settle in. You have to wait because it's a zone. Holacek was a quick three-pointer the last time. Dunham tips it out of bounds on the interior pass to Flom. But you're going to have to settle in. It's more of a 2-3 extended zone after the full-court press is what Lourdes bringing. So if you're doing that, then you have to be patient. Walla almost got called for a foul, but yeah, the 2-3 zone. Now you can look at the free throw line elbow. That's where you got to cut if you're Seuss and Flom. Or the short corner, which is where Seuss goes. Flom, Kramers was open on the cut, but there's no way they're getting to him. Now Bigelow at the free throw line. That's the perfect spot. Shot was no good. And Seuss kept that alive, back over to Kramers, who scores. Jace had the right idea. The free throw line is the comfortable spot for the 2-3 zone. 20-17, Kasson-Mantorville after the 2. Get their lead up to 3. Dunham held for a moment off to Janes, who backs all the way to quarter court. Finds Dunham on the near side. Screen comes, takes to the right side, floats it up. Nice shot by Dunham. 20-19. Kramer's dribbling across the timeline, and Lourdes actually settles back into more of a man-to-man. Off of the zone. Kuyat far side. Flom top the key. Didn't catch it clean, so didn't want to shoot. Bigelow takes a screen from Flom. Didn't free him up. Short corner to Flom. Still really nowhere to go. Kuyat almost had his pocket pick. Drops it off to Kramers. Inside to Seuss. Stolen by Dunham. Outlet pass from Janes to Rainier, who had already hit one. Flom comes up, makes a block. Rainier got it back, tried to pass it off. Janes is fouled by Kramers of Kasson-Mantorville. That is their 5th foul on the team. 3 for Lourdes. 6:18, clock stops here at Home Federal Arena, as Kasson-Mantorville still has a 1-point lead of 20-19. Kramers subs out. That was just his first foul. Hallstrom returns for Kasson-Mantorville. Inbounding is Dunham for Lourdes, off to Lawala, who's about 5 feet from the block. Comes all the way out to the top of the key to hand off to Bigler, who just subbed back in for Lourdes. He's got Kuyat on him, dribbles with his left to the far side, switches to the right. Gets it dumped off to Rainier. Short corner, Dunham underneath. Dunham right back at the elbow. His pass tipped. It's Jace Bigelow around the back trying to find it. Had to get it away to Kuyat. Bigelow was 1-on-4. I didn't like his odds. Off to Kuyat on the far side. Takes the 3. No good. Rebound inside. Dunham's. Kuyat has hit 1 3 thus far. Rainier across the timeline, and everything will set up for Lourdes. Left screen and launch. Quick three-pointer swishes through. Robbie Haight feeling it. He is 3 of 3. Has 8 points, 22-20. Lourdes Eagles take a lead. Far side for Hallstrom. Kick to the corner to Seuss. Seuss takes a screen. The roll wasn't there. Bigelow, far side. Another three-pointer short. Rebound going to be Jace's. Right back to him. He hustles in. Comes from the far corner, the near corner. Seuss inside to Hallstrom. Good cut. Hallstrom's fouled. Great cut. Bigelow finding Seuss. And Hallstrom found a little room to maneuver through. So Hallstrom at the foul line for a pair. Foul comes on Lawala. That's his first. Hallstrom no good on the free throw. Hallstrom sitting at 72% at the free throw line as well, so he's not a bad free throw shooter. Kasson-Mantorville, the team, 67%. Seuss checks out. They bring Holacek back in for Kasson-Mantorville. Still a 2-point lead for Hallstrom, or for Lourdes, with one more coming for Hallstrom. Left-hander lets it fly and finds the net. 1 of 2 at that trip. 21-22. Kasson-Mantorville down by a point. Lourdes basketball. Moving left to right on your screen. Thanks for tuning in here on KM Activities. Channel 2. Nothing on Channel 1 today. We'll be back with 2 things on Monday. Actually 3 things. But Channel 1 will have the boys hockey game. Channel 2 will have boys basketball, Stewartville. Inside Lawala for Lourdes. Turns to his left. Splits the double team. Shot is good and a foul. Lawala, I think, got hit in the face. Still found room to throw it up there. And he'll have a chance for a second and 1. That foul's on Kuyat, swiping down at the basketball. 24-21. 4:17 before halftime. 2 dribbles. Throws it up there. Too strong. Flom almost gave up an offensive rebound. Instead managed to keep Adamson away from it. And Kasson-Mantorville takes over. 24-21, down by 3. They've hit 4 3-pointers thus far in this first half. Short corner to Flom. Nobody cutting, so didn't have really any room. Holacek, who just subbed in. Hallstrom to Flom. Inside to Bigelow. Bigelow got it up and found a little spot between Haight and Lawala. There was not much room on that right block. Bigelow made it work. Second foul on Lawala. Trying to get that 6'7" center in some foul trouble, and he'll have to sit. 1 coming for Bigelow, down by a point. An old-fashioned chance for Jace Bigelow. 1,000-point scorer. Got that last year against Zumbrota Mazeppa here in this arena. And swishes through for Bigelow, 24s. Second tie of the game, way back at 3-3, where the other one was. James watching for the trap at half court. Off to Haight, and Dunham just puts his head down, trying to go all the way in. He does. His shot was disrupted a little bit. Adamson, offensive rebound, no good. Second one, and it's foul on the floor. Adamson hung with it. And there's a foul and a 1-on-1 as the foul is on Flom, his second. Kasson-Mantorville's got to be careful. 2 starters have 2 fouls. That's Bigelow and Flom. Flom's going to take a seat with Easton Seuss returning. Adamson at the free throw line for a chance for 1 and 1 more. Got it on. Oh my goodness, it's an air ball. Don't see that very often at the free throw line. Once in a while, but not very often. It is a sunny day out, and it might have disrupted him. 24-24, 3:30 to go in the first half. Kasson-Mantorville and Lourdes locked in. Good ball game, Bruin. Oh, Hallstrom trying to find Holacek, and he passes it directly to Coach Larson, who's open. But he's also the Lourdes Eagle coach. Three minutes and 15 seconds on the turnover on Kasson-Mantorville. Let's see if they set no trap. I was figuring it was coming. James dribbles a few times, and he throws it directly to the Kasson-Mantorville school, the student section. Well, you give a gift, and then they re-gift it to you. That's how it works. Kuyat bringing it across the timeline for Kasson-Mantorville. Still tied at 24s. Kuyat in the corner, looking underneath the Bigelow. Bigelow out to Holacek. Hesitation. Split a triple team off the Bigelow. Jace is short. And rebound Dunham. Got to get in front of him. Outlet passes to Cruz. Finds Adamson on the left block. He didn't really have anywhere to go. Timeout, Coach Larson. Haight was holding it at the wing, but then decided Larson was screaming for a timeout. Jace takes that three-pointer on the Kasson-Mantorville side. We'll take a timeout. 24-24 is our score. Kasson-Mantorville and Lourdes. 2:36 to go before intermission.
This sports broadcast on the KM Activities YouTube channel is sponsored in part by Bigelow Homes, delivering customers' homes with innovative and affordable design built around the way you live and personalized to your specific needs. If you're wanting the home of your dreams, start by visiting bigelowhomes.net. KM Telecom bundle cable, telephone, and internet together to make your home the complete entertainment package. Find out more at kmtel.com. The Kasson-Mantorville School District, the winter season is in full swing, and scheduling changes can come quickly, which is why you should be following KM Activities on Twitter. We thank our other great sponsors as well: Home Federal Savings Bank, McKern Financial Group, and HockeyFinder.com. This sport.
As a senior, I don't know. We'll come back here to a Home Federal. We're talking about the boys' hockey win last night. Dodge County picking up a huge win over Little Falls, who's like number 4, I think. 4-3. Yeah, 4-3 in Class 1A. Huge win for the boys last night on the road. They're back at it tonight at Tartan at 3:30. So actually the puck just dropped because it's 3:31 according to my computer. Now Dunham for Lourdes, trying to break the tie. Coach Larson had taken that timeout after Kasson-Mantorville had a chance to break the tie themselves and couldn't hit it. Haight has hit everything so far except for that one. Dunham stays with it underneath, and I think Kuyat's going to get called for a foul. He's pleading his case. Todd's too gullible. It's a good thing he's not a referee. He just, he didn't do anything. Yeah, he swiped before staying straight up. 2 foul shots coming for Dunham. Good for the first for Dunham. He's 3 of 3 with 7 points. I think you're home for Todd Halverson. Needs to be at the camera. I'm checking back in as Rainier. He'll sub for Adamson for Lourdes. Moving a couple of guys around. The only starter that they don't have out there at the moment is Lawala. Dunham is good on the second one. Stays perfect at the foul line. Inbounding is Holacek. Lourdes looking like they might try to set back into their full court press. Far side to Seuss. Into Jace. Jace with a body bump and then turn around jumper is good. If you're playing all the way around the world, like I used to as a kid, that was the second shot. That's where he hit it from. 26s. Lourdes trying to rotate it back around. Rainier does have a couple of bench points. James with a head fake. No shot. Neither does Rainier. Bigelow tried to gamble on the steal. Oh, got to look at the baseline. James was open for a second. Bigelow gambling again. Far side. Open Bigler. Three-pointer. Well short. Ball gets batted around. Dunham ends up finding it for Lourdes to stay with it. Right back inside Bigler. And traveled, yep. Right before he let it fly to a pass. And Jace Bigelow is going to come out. That's probably smart. I know he's not happy with it, but he does have 2 fouls. You don't want him picking up a third. Actually surprised that Flom's not sitting out, but you also have Kuyat who has 2 fouls. So where do you go? Kramer's over the far side to Seuss. Holacek. Quick triggering corner 3. Mendes for Cam Holacek, 29-26. 3-point lead for Kasson-Mantorville. 1 minute to play in the first half. James backing all the way. Boy, he was awfully close to the half-court line. Backing up. Bigler holding. Off to James. Drives inside, but cut off. Oh, nearly a steal for Kramer's. Just managed to get the Bigler off the Haight and then reset with Dunham. Corner to James. Didn't want to take the 3. Lourdes might be comfortable enough to take all of this 30 seconds and take it down to halftime. I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Coach Posh's calling out his defensive keys. make sure they stay on assignment. Hated come out to the wing, now corner. They get it off to him, Dunham. Kicks it back out, top the key three-pointer, rolls in for Bigler. Only a second left. Kramers fires a whole court shot and it'll end up short. And they're tied up at 29s. That's really solid patience by the Lourdes Eagles, waiting for that good shot. And of course, everybody's collapsing on Dunham because you're figuring, well, he's the star player. We got to close out on him. And it ends up being Bigler, who hadn't hit anything at that time with a big three-pointer, to tie it back up at 29s. That was a perfect setup. It was a great play by Lourdes. We'll take a timeout, run both of our sponsorship ads, and we'll come right back with the first half stats. We'll go over some things that are happening on Saturday today, as well as what's going on around the Hiawatha League, because a couple of them are in action today here on KM Activities. Your home for the KoMets.
This sports broadcast on the KM Activities YouTube channel is sponsored in part by Bigelow Homes, delivering customers' homes with innovative and affordable design built around the way you live and personalized to your specific needs. If you're wanting the home of your dreams, start by visiting bigelowhomes.net. KM Telecom bundle cable, telephone, and internet together to make your home the complete entertainment package. Find out more at kmtel.com. The Kasson-Mantorville School District, the winter season is in full swing, and scheduling changes can come quickly, which is why you should be following KM Activities on Twitter. We thank our other great sponsors as well, Home Federal Savings Bank, McKern Financial Group, and HockeyFinder.com. This sports broadcast on the KM Activities YouTube channel is sponsored in part by McKern Financial Group. Tax season is upon us, and McKern Financial can assist you with professional and personalized services and guidance. Visit McKernFinancial.com to set up an appointment today. HockeyFinder.com, where social hockey is made easy. HockeyFinder.com offers leagues, a free platform for pickup games, and is inclusive for all levels. Log on to hockeyfinder.com for more details. Home Federal Savings Bank, who are committed to providing great service and competitive products to individuals and businesses. Find all of Home Federal Savings Bank's options at justcallhome.com. And by KM Telecom, Bigelow Homes, and the Kasson-Mantorville School District.
Neither team grabbed a ton of momentum to start the game. It was a long feel-out process. They were tied at 3 early on. Kasson-Mantorville did gain a lead, and then Lourdes came back. 4 ties in that first half. 24, 26, 29. Kasson-Mantorville and Lourdes locked up at 29. Here's your scoring in the first half. Kyler Kuyat, 3 points. Jace Bigelow, 10. Cam Holacek, 8. Jack Kramers, 2, and 6 for Jake Hallstrom. For the Kasson-Mantorville KoMets, they shoot 2 of 4 at the free throw line and 5 of 11 from beyond the arc. For the Lourdes Eagles, they shot 4 of 5 from deep and 5 of 8 at the free throw line. Leading the way is Peyton Dunham with 8 points. Robbie Haight putting in some nice work with 8 points as well. 3 points apiece for Bigler and Janes. 5 for Lotto Lawala. And then 2 from Nathan Rainier. That's their only bench points in the first half. Shooting pretty well. 5 of 8 at the free throw line, 4 of 5 from downtown, as I mentioned. These two teams, KoMets trying to go for their first sweep of the Lourdes Eagles since 2017-18, where Kasson-Mantorville won both. 2018-19, Lourdes won both, and last year they only played once. Lourdes got a win, 61-59, slipping by here at Home Federal Arena. Of course, Lourdes is in 2A with a section that's loaded with good teams, including Stewartville, who lost last night to Byron, Caledonia, PEM, who they just beat, Lake City, Goodhue, Triton, La Crescent, Lewiston, Altura, Chatfield, Cannon Falls, ZM, St. Charles, Pine Island, this Lourdes Eagles team, Dover Yoda, and Cotter. That's Section 1 of Class 2A. Kasson-Mantorville, they deal with Austin, Byron in the conference end section, Winona, Simley, Albert Lee, Red Wing, and Faribault. And in the Hiawatha Valley today, Pine Island is at Lewiston Altura. Triton hosting Kennewandomingo and Austin, a section team for Kasson-Mantorville. Austin's in action at John Marshall. As we said, there's a lot going on. Dance, the KoMets dance team, their section meet was at Winona. That started at 9 a.m. Girls hockey at Hutchinson. That just started not that long ago, and Kasson-Mantorville was leading Dodge County was leading 1-0. Gosh, I hate when I do that. Dodge County up 1-0 against Hutchinson the last I checked. Boys hockey just started against Tartan. And then Monday, as I said, gymnastics versus Stewartville. That's at 6:30. We'll have that one probably on Channel 3. Boys hockey versus Chicago Lakes. That's 7 p.m. on Channel 1. And then boys basketball takes on Stewartville 7:15 right here on Channel 2. If you're wondering about the Hiawatha Valley, well, Byron beat Stewartville last night. So both those teams have one loss in the conference. Stewartville 11-1, Byron 10-1. That's on the gold side. Then you've got Lake City at 9-3, Triton 7-4, Goodhue 8-5. They've got some solid records. Cannon Falls sits at 6-8. Zumbrota Mazeppa 5-8. 3-6 Kennewandomingo, followed by Kasson-Mantorville, Pine Island, and Lourdes. And for 2A, which is what Lourdes is in, Waseca is the number 1 team, followed by Minneapolis, North Caledonia, Stewartville, and Melrose area. How about that? Caledonia and Stewartville in the same section, and one of those two teams won't make state. Bottom half of the top 5 is Blake, Mora, St. Croix Pep, Annandale, and Morris area. That's your top 10 in Class 2A. And Class 3A, Minnehaha Academy, Totino Grace, Columbia Heights, South St. Paul, and Richfield. They're the top 5. Hibbing, Marshall, De La Salle, St. Croix Lutheran, and Austin round out the top 10. So, Kasson-Mantorville KoMets hosting Stewartville Monday. KoMet girls will be down at Stewartville. That should be a great game, too. KoMets on the 11th and 12th, back-to-back days, Pine Island and Lake City. Next week starts sections because that's on Wednesday with wrestling, as the Kasson-Mantorville KoMets will be hosting the first 2 rounds of section duels. That's team duels. That's on Wednesday, so we'll be broadcasting that. Nothing on Tuesday. Wednesday, 4 p.m. is the wrestling section meet for duels. On the 11th, there's a lot going on with boys basketball and gymnastics. Gymnastics hosting Byron. And boys basketball again on the 12th versus Lake City. And the 13th, there's also some stuff going on. That's a Saturday. And girls and boys hockey are both in action next Saturday, the 13th. And the girls basketball team also competing. That's a 2:05, 2:15 start. Girls basketball versus Cannon Falls. I have not heard if Steve Alvarado for next Saturday will be able to cover both the girls and boys hockey games. I hope he can. I got some family that's coming up. I'm going to cover the girls basketball team, but hoping to spend some time with the family. And wouldn't you know it, right after that is section tournament time. It begins on the 15th, March 15th, the girls hockey quarterfinals, 7 p.m., 3:16. That's Tuesday, and also a very important day in my household. Boys hockey, their quarterfinals, and girls basketball quarterfinals, both at 7 p.m. On the 17th, it's boys basketball quarterfinals, as well as girls hockey semifinals, and wrestling individual sections also take place on the 17th. And it just flows from there. The 18th, 19th, 20th, 24th, 25th. Your team just keeps winning. You got more and more games to cover. We'll do everything we can to do all of the basketball and hockey possible. Unfortunately for wrestling, if you're looking for the grapplers, we cannot do the individual tournament. They're up at Cannon Falls, and track wrestling is going to be doing all of that, so you have to pay to watch the wrestling or try to get in. As Kasson-Mantorville KoMets 29-29, but that's what I've been told about individual. That's why the section championships, which is actually next week, at the end of the week, we won't be able to cover those as well, as track wrestling is going to be doing those. But we get to cover the wrestling the very first night of team duels. And that'll be the last time we get to see the wrestlers in action on KM activities. But if any of them make it to state, much like we did last year, where we had the Meet the State Qualifier wrestling show, we would do that again this year. I would set up in an office somewhere, let them have a stick mic, so that way nobody's trading headsets and all that good stuff. And the same holds true if anybody else. It's girls basketball, boys basketball, girls hockey, boys hockey, whatever the case may be. Whoever makes it to state, since there's some state tournaments that's going to be taking place, we'll be talking to all of them. We'll do individual, like, meet the team type shows. If any of them are lucky enough to get there, because I mean, it takes some luck. It takes a lot of skill, but it takes some luck too. It's going to be tough to get out of any of these sections for girls or boys, in hockey and in basketball, along with wrestling. Nothing's guaranteed. Got to go out and perform. And the Lourdes Eagles and Kasson-Mantorville KoMets performed nicely in the first half. In fact, it was pretty even. Can't get any more even. 29s as we start the first possession of the second half with the Lourdes Eagles. And 5-second call just dribbling out front as Janes. Hallstrom forces it. Starters back out with Haight, Bigler, Janes, Lawala, and Dunham for Lourdes. Kasson-Mantorville goes with Hallstrom, Kuyat, Bigelow, Flom, and Holacek. A couple of those guys have 2 fouls, so got to be careful. Kuyat picked up his dribble off to Bigelow on the far side. Kasson-Mantorville opening up on the baseline with Holacek, but that was shut down. Lawala awaiting, 6'7" forward. Flom has yet to hit a bucket tonight. I don't even think he's taken a shot. He hasn't, not yet. Kuyat, wing 3, got open, no good. Rebound, tipped out, and they're saying off of Hallstrom, and it'll go to the Lourdes Eagles. KoMets force a 5-second call, first time. Haight to bring it across the timeline, and he'll battle with Jace Bigelow. Does just that. Keeps dribbling off to Janes. Corner, Dunham. Hesitation. Looking down low for Lawala. They really want to get it into him. He does. Patience on the low block. Finds Haight. Good closeout by Bigelow. Oh, and Lawala throws it up there on a tip, but no good. Dunham's too strong on the other side, and Kasson-Mantorville gets out of there without giving up a point. 2 feet from the hoop. Both teams really struggled at the Bunnies in the first half. Flom over to Kuyat. Dribbling to the free throw line. Bigelow takes a Kuyat screen but resets. Flom to the corner. Flom, he can shoot, but he's more of a set shooter. Holacek now driving all the way in. Oh, bank shot's too short. On the baseline, got right to the rim. Again, another chance at the rim for either of these teams. Neither fall. 29s still at 16 minutes. Second half. Janes top of the key. Looks off and throws to Haight. Durham and Janes play a little catch. Down low for Lawala. He didn't want to shoot. Bigler drives to the baseline. Short pass, whoops it around. James was open. Instead, they close out on him. Shot is tipped by Flom and saved by him. Nice play. Bigelow off the Holacek. 3-pointer in the corner. No good. Rolled off. Flom and James lock up, and it is a tie-up. Stays with Kasson-Mantorville. Holacek 2 for 5 from deep. Kasson-Mantorville went 5 of 11 in the first half. It was about 10 minutes into that game against Chicago Lakes that Kasson-Mantorville went on their run. Bigelow in the corner, off to Flom. Now does take a 3-pointer. No good. Backside rebound for Kuyat. Actually, I should say near side, because he took that from the far side. Into Jace. Stripped away. Nice handsy play by Haight. Not allowing that to get to Jace cleanly. And a low block touch. Instead, Lourdes forces the steal. Hallstrom's about to cause a 5-second call again. And there it is. Hallstrom has stayed close enough to where, and Janes is asking Coach Larson, but Hallstrom's not getting out of reach. One thing about Hallstrom, he stands at 6'2". He's got a great wingspan, and that's what causes 5-second calls. It may look like he's sagging off, but with his wingspan standing or getting that arm straight out, that's the reason for those 5-second calls. Flom down on the low block, nowhere to go. Hallstrom top of the key. Spin move back to his left. Still not open. Kuyat drives, poked away. Janes with a nice play. Kuyat on the ground, tumbling over, and Coach Poshas calls a timeout. Kuyat did have the ball, so a timeout by Kasson-Mantorville. We played a little more than 2.5, and no points. 29-29. They're playing shot in the dark by Ozzy Osbourne. That's what it looks like these two teams are doing right now, shooting in the dark. Neither one of them could connect so far here in this second half. And both teams shot the ball pretty well in the first half. Like I said, Kasson-Mantorville over 50% from deep. Shot right at 50% for the free throw line. That's not as good. And Lourdes was 4 or 5 from three-pointers, led by Haight with 8 and Dunham with 8. Kasson-Mantorville with that timeout. 5-9, the Kasson-Mantorville KoMets. Jace Bigelow out at the beginning of the season. Does feel like this team is gelling. The same can hold true for Lourdes because Peyton Dunham was hurt, and he missed some games early on in the season. Once he came back, things started settling in. They weren't getting the wins, but Lourdes' points, much like Kasson-Mantorville, their averages were going up. You were seeing a better shooting performance. So Kasson-Mantorville, after that timeout, Bigelow coming to the jump circle. Right-hand dribbles to Flom. Kick to the corner. Kuyat didn't catch it clean. Picked it up off the floor. Still takes the three-pointer. Bigelow trying to get the rebound. It's saved. Nice play by Dunham. Finds Janes, and Kasson-Mantorville will sag back off, and Lourdes will bring it across the timeline. I didn't actually like that shot for Kuyat only because he didn't catch it clean. He was open in the corner, but you got to catch that cleanly. Haight over to Janes. Janes rises, fires a three-pointer. Came back inside. He actually had his own rebound stripped away. Hallstrom provides the steal. Flom. Oh, that would have been a chance for Flom to shoot. Instead, Bigelow going all the way inside. Lots of contact, no call. Holacek gets to the ball first. Haight collides with him, and it is a foul. Ethan Seuss checking into the ball game for Kasson-Mantorville. He will play for Flom. And I'm sure Coach Poshas is telling his junior, let that fly. You're out there. You're open. You fit. Oh, inbounding and off to Bigelow. Lawala comes in, blocks it, and gets the ball directly to Janes for Lourdes. 29 still. Almost 5 minutes into the second half. Well, not quite. Almost 4 minutes, I guess. Dunham picks up his dribble, has to find Bigler. Takes a screen to his right. And a wild shot. Had some English on it. Bounced off of the backboard and rim twice before falling out. And Kasson-Mantorville clears for the rebound. Hallstrom driving all the way inside. His shot heavily contested. Lawala doing a good job staying straight up, not getting that foul called. Haight steps on the gas. Came back to the outside, though. Thought he had a chance to go all the way in. Instead, he went to Bigler. Dunham at the elbow. Holacek on him, but he's giving him a little bit of room. They go into Lawala. Stripped the first time. Second one, he's too far underneath the hoop. Off the backboard. Kasson-Mantorville with Bigelow. Holacek corner. Bigelow trying to drive baseline. Pushes it right underneath. What a nice pass. Seuss underneath to Hallstrom. And Hallstrom scores. Again, Lawala, he can't reach over the top because then he's going to get called for a foul, and he's already got 2. 31-29, our first points of the second half come to the Kasson-Mantorville KoMets. They lead by 2. Dunham, spin move. He's short. And behind the back or over the back call on Janes. Make the Kasson-Mantorville KoMets have the ball back. Dunham with a nice move. Just didn't get that high enough. Kasson-Mantorville going to Kramers. Comes in for Kuyat. I thought, yeah, okay, Devin Cruz comes in for Lourdes. I thought they had a sub, just trying to find him. Bigelow at the elbow, far side, Holacek. Rises, fires, three, Mendes! 34-29. 11:45 second half. Kasson-Mantorville leading by 5 after that three-pointer. Haight trying to get inside, picks up his dribble. Inside to Adamson, who also subbed in. Adamson causing a lot of contact, and then it rolled off of the arm of Adamson and out of bounds. Senior 6'3" forward having a difficult night. Adamson, he's 0 for 3. Kasson-Mantorville takes back over, up by 5. Corner to Seuss. Holacek, who just hit a three-pointer, wants to drive in. And Haight poked it away. Dunham picks it up for Lourdes. Over to Haight. Sort of took a screen, a little right-hand floater. Boy, his body English going to the left, his arm going back to the right. Tough shot, no good. Holacek there for the rebound. He got it close off the backboard, but couldn't fall. Haight closing in on Bigelow. Shot is up and good! I'm going to call a foul as well, so an and one chance for Jace Bigelow. Haight closed out almost too fast, and that freed Bigelow up. That's the second foul on Adamson, his second. Or that's what I said, his second foul, and that is the third on Lourdes. Holacek comes out. Kuyat returns for Kasson-Mantorville. Bigelow at the foul line, trying to get it to 8. He does. Swishes through. Jace Bigelow, a perfect 2 for 2. Boy, that free throws were hard to come by in the South Gym the other night. Neither team was doing very good on the free throws. Tonight a little bit better. Dunham drives in, and that's a good call. Blocking foul on Kasson-Mantorville. They could get Hallstrom with it. That's probably my guess. Nope, they called on Seuss. That's Seuss's first, team's first. And Dunham at the foul line where he went, well, pretty well in the first half. I don't like to say what he actually went, because then you get the old broadcaster's jinx. I won't do that to him. Not here, not at this juncture. Swishes through. He's got one more. 9 points for Dunham. In fact, that's what he had against Kasson-Mantorville the first time these two teams met. Just trying to get back in the groove at that point. And he misses the second one. Offensive rebound goes to Jans. And Coach Bosch's not thrilled with that. That's the first miss for Dunham at the foul line. Drops it off to Adamson. Low block. Turns. Shot. No good. And a foul called. They're going to call that on Kuyat, his third. And Adamson at the foul line for his second and third chance. He went 0 for last time. Now he's the one that had the air ball. This time short rim. And they'll get one more. 37-30. Kasson-Mantorville up by 7. 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Second half. Tied at 29 when we started this second half. Adamson scores on the second free throw. He went from an air ball, front rim, and then through. A little full court pressure. Kasson-Mantorville doing a good job getting it across the timeline. Bounce pass to Seuss at the wing off to Kuyat. Kuyat can't back up, though. That's the one thing that Kramer's off the Hallstrom. Three-pointer in the corner, no good. Dunham there for the rebound. Hallstrom should have not taken that. You got to reset. That's the thing. The only part of the game that Hallstrom has to, he's just got to have a little bit better shot selection. Dunham attacking on Kuyat. Drops it off for Adamson. Left block, scores. So Oliver Adamson, 37-34. Kasson-Mantorville up by 4. Missing out on another sure-handed dribbler. Inside to Hallstrom. And goes through the fingertips of Seuss. And out of bounds. Right in front of Coach Pocius. They get exactly what they wanted for Kasson-Mantorville, breaking the press. And you're short a guy like Claypool, who's another off the bench, or he starts, which allows Kramer to come off the bench. And instead, tonight without him, they got to ask a little bit more guard play from Kramer's as well as Seuss. Inside, Dunham bullying around, no good on his shot. Kuyat gets a long rebound after it was back tapped out. Kasson-Mantorville with Kramer's from the far side. Seuss, corner, 3-ball, no good, rolled off. And that's another shot that Kasson-Mantorville just should not be settling for that. They got to realize that they're up by 4, under 9 to play. Got to take long possessions. Oh, baseline jumper up for Cruz, and Kramer's just touches the fingertips, and they call the foul on the follow-through. Kramer's second foul stops the clock, and another foul shot opportunity. This one coming for Devin Cruz, the senior 6-foot guard. But Kasson-Mantorville's shot selection's got to settle in a little bit better. They got to look for something a little bit better than corner threes. And swishing around and then out for Cruz. Seuss out. Flom back in for Kasson-Mantorville. 37-33, 8:52 second half. One more coming for the Lourdes Eagle to try and trim the lead down to 1 possession. Currently it's 4 points. Cruz has his right foot right on the line. That's exactly what you want to do. Last night we saw a jumping free throw shooter in the girls' game. Clean as a whistle for Cruz. 37-34. KM up by 3. They brought in Holacek and Flom. Holacek skip pass and it's stolen. Taken away by Rainier. He's got numbers. He's waiting on him. Haight throws it up there with his left hand. No good. That's a dangerous pass. You can't be skip passing on Flom. And you can't skip pass on full court presses. And Kuyat, Kramers did not look for the ball. And Kramers is cutting to come out anyway. That's not really where you'd want him to go. And not where Kuyat should be going with the basketball. Referee comes to the scores table to talk things over a little bit. 37-34, 8 minutes, 12 seconds. Second half between these two teams. Got a couple of games left before section playoffs. Looks like the official is done talking to the scores table. Kasson-Mantorville not really applying much pressure, and Lourdes will bring it across with Haight. They look inside to Loyola, and he got it down there. Oh, too strong on the left side. Loyola just short-arming it. Bigelow driving in. Kick to the corner. Holacek. 3, Mendes. Cam Holacek scoring. That right there is what you want. You get the dribble, drive, and kick to a shooter on the outside. Far side for Cruz. For Lourdes, 40-34. Down by 6 are the Eagles. Haight trying to answer with a 3 of his own. He can't. Did it in the first half a couple of times. And a rebound comes to Rainier, and Jace Bigelow fouled him. Swiping down on it. Third foul on Jace Bigelow. 13 points. Cam Holacek 14. That's the game high. Inbounding, the trigger man will be Haight at between the K and O of KoMets. Directly in front of a cameraman, too. Bigler off to Haight. Just hands it directly off over on the far side to Cruz. Not much action with Rainier either. Taking it nice and slow are the Lourdes Eagles. They did this, I thought their possession right at the end of the first half was a really, really good possession where they held for a minute and got a 3-pointer out of it to tie. Bigelow gambled off the leg. That goes from Rainier to Kuyat. Right to Jace Bigelow, who lays it in. Jace almost had to slow down. He nearly ran past the hoop. 42-34 after the steal. Kasson-Mantorville up by 8. Lured across the timeline. A quick timeout for Coach Larson. We'll take it as well. We got to thank our great sponsors here on KM Activities. We'll come right back. 6 minutes and 30 seconds even left in the second half. 42-34. Kasson-Mantorville up on the Lourdes Eagles.
This sports broadcast on the KM Activities YouTube channel is sponsored in part by Bigelow Homes, delivering customers' homes with innovative and affordable design built around the way you live and personalized to your specific needs. If you're wanting the home of your dreams, start by visiting bigelowhomes.net. KM Telecom bundle cable, telephone, and internet together to make your home the complete entertainment package. Find out more at kmtel.com. The Kasson-Mantorville School District, the winter season is in full swing, and scheduling changes can come quickly, which is why you should be following KM Activities on Twitter. We thank our other great sponsors as well, Home Federal Savings Bank, McKern Financial Group, and HockeyFinder.com. This sports
Kasson-Mantorville KoMets leading 42-34. Knee deep in the second half. 6 minutes 30 seconds. Up on the Lourdes Eagles. Just got a score update as the girls hockey team, Dodge County, gets a win over Hutchinson 5-0. That game already over with. They started at 2 o'clock. And the boys hockey team going up against Tartan. Asking Todd to see if he can find a stream, but that's on Prep Spotlight, so he's probably not. Jane's over on the far side for Lourdes. Go back up to the quarter court line and setting things up for the Lourdes Eagles. Down by 8. They got to get a really nice shot. They did the one time by Haight. They just couldn't quite hit the three-pointer. Gets another chance on the far side. No, dribbles all the way in, drops it off. Nice pass to Lawala, who finishes and gives Haight the assist. 42-36. Titans leading 2-0 over Dodge County. Thank you. Found it on Twitter. Good job. And Bigelow passes too high from Hallstrom. Huh? I don't know. Didn't do my homework on a game that I'm not calling. Sorry, Todd. I know I'm sort of an encyclopedia for Kasson-Mantorville sports, but I don't know anything about Tartan. All right, you do that. 42-36. 5 minutes and 40 seconds, second half. Kasson-Mantorville up by 6. Lourdes with possession. Haight on the near side. Fakes a screen. Takes a mid-range jumper. Too strong. Backside rebound. Dunham. Off to Bigler. Three-pointer. Line drive. No good. Way back out for Haight. There's 2 chances. Haight off the heel. Inside rebound for Adamson. Blocked by Flom. And lost the ball. And Adamson picks it right back up. Haight inside for his third chance. Got it, and a foul. Got a rebound. Too many chances on that possession. Haight made him pay for it. Yep, that went on Kuyat. And one goes through for Haight. You're right, Kuyat has 4 fouls. Kramers or Seuss will have to come in for him soon. 5-minute mark. Second half, 42-39 after Haight's and 1. Bounce pass to Bigelow. Comes to the... There you go. That's a smart play. Thought about a skip pass to Holacek. That was not open. Hallstrom looking underneath. Off the Holacek. Open 3. Wing. Rolled out. Rebound by Janes. And Kuyat just fouled out. Easton Seuss coming in. Kuyat will finish with 3. 42-39, so they're going to rely on the freshman Easton Seuss as Coach Poshus and company. He'll have to rebound well, and especially if he's up against Peyton Dunham. Janes on the handoff. Back over to Dunham. Takes a screen. No, goes to the right side. Just dribbles all the way in. That ball is shuffling around. Dunham just turns around, hoists it, throws it up there like a shot put. There's a foul called. They're going to call it on the floor. That foul goes to Bigelow. That's his fourth. Dunham on the free throw line for a one and potentially one more. Canned it. He's been silky smooth at the free throw line. Just the one miss, 6 of 7. 42-40. One more coming and good. By Dunham, the 6'5" forward. I got him for 11 points. And 7 of that at the foul line. Holacek lost it. Steal on for Dunham. Dunham driving all the way in. Holacek fouls him, and the layup is good. 43-42. Momentum starting to swing to the visiting Lourdes Eagles. Holacek need to let him go. That's the 8th team foul on Kasson-Mantorville. Only 3 for the Lourdes Eagles. Just the first on Holacek. Now you got to make sure you rebound if he misses it. 43-42. Lourdes up. Short. Flom there for the rebound. It was close. Kasson-Mantorville with Bigelow over on the far side. Dribbling around with his left. Hands it to Hallstrom. Attacking. Spin move. Shot is no good, but a foul called. 2 shots coming for Hallstrom. They can give Kasson-Mantorville the lead back if he can hit them both. Foul assessed to James, his second. Like I said, Lourdes with 4. Both teams have 3 timeouts left. Hallstrom at the foul line first. Drops it through the southpaw. Four dribbles. Left hand. Flies. Rattles through. 3 of 4 at the foul line for Hallstrom. His first start. 10 points. Has no Claypool tonight. 44-43. Kasson-Mantorville has the lead. Mawala going to check back in. He can't even sit in front of the scores table, though, because he's so tall. He'd be on the playing surface. Coming back is James. Resets Dunham. Head fake. Drives in. Tries to drop it off, and off of Adamson for the Lourdes Eagles. A turnover, and Kasson-Mantorville will take it. Mawala will come in for Adamson. Tight game, 3 minutes and 29 ticks. Second half, 44-43. Both these teams actually average more than 50 points, but Kasson-Mantorville is averaging right around 55 and 53 for Lourdes, so they're about there. Hallstrom, you're not open. He was begging for the ball, but Holacek can't skip that pass that far. Hallstrom. Right back to Bigelow. See, this is where Kasson-Mantorville has to show patience. Hallstrom underneath this time. Layup good and a foul. Now that's where you can get it. Lawala came sliding down the first time. That's why Holacek couldn't find him. The second time, he's up farther to the back volleyball line, and therefore Hallstrom can sneak in that back door, and it was a great pass by the freshman Seuss. Hallstrom with an and one chance. Got it. 47-43. Kasson-Mantorville up by 4. Wawala would have to sag back down into the half circle that's painted in the line. That painted line inside the paint. Say that 10 times fast. Skip pass to the far side for Lourdes. They get a 3-pointer off by Bigelow. It's short. Seuss saves. It was going to be off of him. And Kasson-Mantorville has to slow things down and stay out in the perimeter. Bigelow on the near side. He's got 4 fouls, so you don't want to do anything ridiculous with him. Bigelow is comfortable just dribbling around. He's got such great footwork, and a timeout by Coach Pocius. And he's got really good handles. That's the thing about Bigelow. He could dribble around for another 2 minutes and 8 seconds and really never get a 5-second call. But it's a full timeout for Kasson-Mantorville. We'll take it as well. We'll come right back here on KM Activities. KoMets up 47-43, 2:08 to go.
This sports broadcast on the KM Activities YouTube channel is sponsored in part by McKern Financial Group. Tax season is upon us, and McKern Financial can assist you with professional and personalized services and guidance. Visit McKernFinancial.com to set up an appointment today. HockeyFinder.com, where social hockey is made easy. HockeyFinder.com offers leagues, a free platform for pickup games, and is inclusive for all levels. Log on to HockeyFinder.com for more details. Home Federal Savings Bank, who are committed to providing great service and competitive products to individuals and businesses. Find all of Home Federal Savings Bank's options at justcallhome.com. And by KM Telecom, Bigelow Homes, and the Kasson-Mantorville School District.
Kasson-Mantorville KoMets 47, Lourdes Eagles 43. Just shy of 2 minutes in the second half in this Hiawatha Valley matchup. Two teams that really need a Hiawatha Valley win. Lourdes doesn't have one. They're at 0-11, including a loss to Kasson-Mantorville earlier in the season. And for the KoMets, they sit at 3-8. KoMets rotating around. Hallstrom with a dangerous pass. Seuss saved it. Ends up, I thought Flom had it for a second. Dunham on the floor along with Hallstrom, and a timeout called by Larson. Wild scramble between the two teams. It ends up being Lourdes taking the timeout. We'll stay here. As Kasson-Mantorville 5-9 overall. Lourdes Eagles 2-11. Lourdes, what they have left is on March 8th versus Pine Island. They're at Kenny-Wanamingo on the 12th, and they host Cannon Falls on the 13th. And then they'll have to see where they seed in their 2A section tournament. And for Kasson-Mantorville, well, they haven't had a road game since February 19th. And they have Stewartville, who's probably a little upset over losing to Byron last night. And they come to town Monday. We'll broadcast that game. We'll broadcast the Pine Island game on the 11th. And they have Lake City on the 12th. And then we find out what they're doing for section tournament. We'll see if they can sneak up there. This would be a tough loss for them to have to try and jump someone for the QRF and get a better seeding. The last two wins over New Ulm and Chisago Lakes help out a lot because that's a 3A team. Now for Lourdes getting this win, that's a nice win for them because that's a class up above them as well. But Kasson-Mantorville can ill afford to lose too many more at the end of the game or end of the season to fall down and have to take a road trip. They're probably looking at that already. But maybe if they can sneak in the win tonight and possibly the final two, I mean, if they can pull off an upset against Stewartville, that's huge. But if they didn't lose, if they lose that game, it's not as big a deal. It's mainly the Lake City and Pine Island game that they have that they got to make sure they win, and they need to sneak this one. But Lourdes is playing some tough defense late. Dunham, low block, spinning, and he lost where he was going to go. He did the old roundabout down on the block, and Janes left his spot in the corner. Turnover. 47-43, Kasson-Mantorville. They have ball. Skip past the Seuss. And Coach Pocius is calling for a timeout because Seuss was holding right in front of him. That's the good thing about both these coaches did not call early timeouts. Both teams were a little cold to start the second half. We were tied at 29s. And I think we played, almost 4.5 minutes in that second half before one team scored a bucket. And we have not had a tie in the second half, believe it or not. 47-43. It's been back and forth. But when one team's on evens, the other team's on odds. And so we haven't had a tie. Just the ties took place in the first half, 3, 24, 26, and 28. And for Kasson-Mantorville, with that timeout, they'll have to inbound it right in front of the scores table near half court. Foul trouble an issue as Kyler Couillat fouled out for Kasson-Mantorville. Jace Bigelow has 4, so he's got to play smart. I will give Lotto Lawala a big boost of confidence by saying that in the second half he sat with 2 fouls and never picked up a third. Or did he? He did pick up a third, pardon me. He picked up 1. I take that back. I forgot to mark him. He took 1, but not the second. Or not a fourth. So he's played very smart in the second half. And he's been a disruptor inside, so it's not as though he hasn't played tight defense. He has. And him inbounding, and Bigler fouls Jace Bigelow immediately. That's only the 6th foul. And I could hear Coach Larson say, that's not the guy you want to foul. Lotto was coming up to guard Flom. They leave him alone. Far side for Holacek. Hallstrom. Over to Seuss. Back to Holacek. And there's the foul called on Bigler, his 3rd. 1-on-1 chance for Holacek. Cam, he hit a few big ones the other night. He's a 76% free throw shooter. I think if I was the Eagles, I would have tried to foul Seuss as Holacek delivers the first. Only because as a freshman, he probably hasn't been put in this position a few times. 48-43, 1 more coming for Holacek. Off the right hand, good. Haight off to Bigler for Lourdes. They're down by 6, 49-43. Far side for Haight. Right back, and Bigler with a 3-pointer. Got it. Timeout immediately by Coach Larson. Knew that was coming. We'll take it as well. 48 seconds left, 49-46. As Kasson-Mantorville still leads by 3.
This sports broadcast on the KM Activities YouTube channel is sponsored in part by Bigelow Homes, delivering customers' homes with innovative and affordable design built around the way you live and personalized to your specific needs. If you're wanting the home of your dreams, start by visiting bigelowhomes.net. KM Telecom bundle cable, telephone, and internet together to make your home the complete entertainment package. Find out more at kmtel.com. The Kasson-Mantorville School District, the winter season is in full swing, and scheduling changes can come quickly, which is why you should be following KM Activities on Twitter. We thank our other great sponsors as well: Home Federal Savings Bank, McKern Financial Group, and HockeyFinder.com.
Kasson-Mantorville KoMets 49, Lourdes Eagles 46. Both teams in the 1-on-1 bonus. KoMets have fouled 8 times, Lourdes 7. 1 timeout apiece for Coach Larson for Lourdes and Kasson-Mantorville's Pocius. Kasson-Mantorville will have the ball, and they'll have to go full court. And Lourdes is going to bring their full court press. KoMets running more of a picket fence to inbound. Holacek is the trigger man. Off to Bigelow on the far side. Try to bring the trap. Was tipped. Holacek just regaining possession. Holacek trying to get across the timeline at a spin. Finds Flom wide open. That's the perfect spot. Holacek over to Seuss, and Kasson-Mantorville can hold. Off to Bigelow. Bigelow, and splitting between the double team, Dunham fouls. It was awfully close to being a steal. Coach Larson was hoping for the right call. Ends up being Jace at the foul line. KoMets don't leave anybody underneath on the 1-on-1. 49-46. Lawala subs back in for Rainier. Just a 1-on-1, so they got the box out, but Bigelow swishes through the first. One more coming for the senior 6'4" guard/forward. Does it all. 16 points. Make it 17. That's now the game high. Making sure that Haight has to touch it early. 25 seconds left. 51-46. Haight takes the screen over on the far side. Shoots it. 3-pointer. And another timeout by Larson. 49-51. Kasson-Mantorville. Robbie Haight. He's got 14 points. Three of them coming from three-pointers. He was perfect 2 for 2 from deep early in the game. He's only missed one so far. Took a screen and got him open on the wing. Shot it. Connects. 19.8 to go. Second half. Lourdes snapping an 11-game losing skid. KoMets trying to get the sweep over Lourdes for the first time since the 2017-18 game. Or season, I should say. Lourdes swept both games of the 2018-19 season. And last year they only played once. Lourdes escaped 61-59 in this very gym. They get the 2 games this season. Kasson-Mantorville took down the Lourdes Eagles early on in the season. That game was on February 12th, so about a month ago, 69-58. Jace Bigelow with 25 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Flom added 12 and 11 rebounds. Holacek also had 11 points. And Peyton had 9. Adamson that night had 13, and he's been very quiet, just 2 tonight for Lourdes. Hallstrom over the far side to Bigelow, and they call a foul. 51-49, 16.4. Bigelow, this will be the final 1-and-1 chance for Kasson-Mantorville. It's a big shot. His first one is a big one for Bigelow. Puts it at 3 if he can make it. He shorted it. 2-point game, 15 seconds to go. Dunham bringing it down quickly. Haight inside, over the far side, shot short for Bigler. Flom there for the rebound, and they call a jump ball. It's going to be Eagle basketball. Stay with the Lourdes Eagles, 5.6. Coach Larson is out of timeouts. I would think you'd try to lob this thing up to Lawala. That's what I would do. That's exactly what they're looking for. Or Dunham. Bigler out to Dunham. Three-pointer for the lead. No. Long rebound. Jace Bigelow throws it out. Flom's there. That's it. 51-49. I think Bigelow wanted to throw that about half court, and he didn't quite get enough on it. And the Kasson-Mantorville KoMets will survive 51-49, and the Lourdes Eagles gave them all they could handle and then some. Bigelow spiking the ball afterwards because I know he'd want that free throw. But the KoMets get the win anyway. Yeah, he's saying, Bigelow's trying to explain, like, I'm trying to throw that at half court. But give Lourdes a ton of credit, a quick turnaround. They played last night, had to come right back here after their win over PEM. 14 points for Robbie Haight. Bigler with 6, 3 for Janes. 7 points for Lawala. Dunham finishes 13. Rainier with the 2. Adamson had 2, 1 point for Cruz. And that's it for the Lourdes Eagles. So the game, or the team high goes to Robbie Haight with 14, followed by Dunham with 13. For the Kasson-Mantorville KoMets, 17 for Jace Bigelow. Holacek, 16. 2 for Kramers. Hallstrom had a good night off the bench. Pardon me, starting for the first time. Got to get used to saying that. 13 for Hallstrom. Yeah, and that would be it for the Kasson-Mantorville KoMets. So they would move to 6-9 overall, and they are 4-8 in the conference. And they will host Stewartville coming up on Monday night right here at the Home Federal Arena. We'll have it for you on Channel 2. So for Todd Halverson, there's a lot going on this weekend. Enjoy the great weather. Grill out if you can. I'm doing that tomorrow. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. Come back with us on KM Activities Channel 1 Monday night for boys hockey versus Chicago Lakes. That's at 7 p.m. Channel 2 will have boys basketball versus Stewartville. And Channel 3 will get going with gymnastics for Stewartville. We got a lot going on. Have a great weekend.